Kanye.
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye West's career in rap is over. Kanye West used to be one of the biggest names creating some of the best music, but since then, he's fallen off.
Sparkling or still? Are you trying to act like you was drinking sparkling water before you came out here?
Be sure to stay tuned to know why. Leave a like and comment the keyword to enter the giveaway. Number 5. The rap game isn't kinda Kanye.
Beach, yeah, keeping it G. I told her don't win no 350s around me.
No matter what industry you're in, there is likely a chance you're going to end up in a beef with someone over some reason. For movie stars and TV stars, it may be that they don't like a coworker, or they don't like how a director does things. And for singers and rappers, they may not like the other singer or rapper for whatever reason. But in the rap game, this happens far too often, and people have gotten hurt severely for these beefs. And when it comes to Kanye West, his beefs have been getting way out of control for years. And he knows it. To list all the beefs that Kanye has been in over the years would take up this whole list by itself. But let's focus on 2, and the first one was one side beef that he had with Taylor Swift. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Where Swift won an award that many thought would go to Beyonce, and when Swift won it and was about to give her speech, Kanye came up, took the mic, and declared that Beyonce should have won the award.
Let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Yeah, not cool, Kanye. This act caused a wave of hate and disses on Kanye West, and it almost ended his career because of the backlash. Sure, some people thought it was Kanye being Kanye, but when the president of the United States, Barack Obama at the time, comments on Kanye and says that he's a jerk, but in, stronger language, yeah, that's a problem. And it clearly affected Kanye. And then there was the feud that he's currently undergoing right now with the fellow singer and rapper Drake.
Thought that he never would need. Father had to stretch his hands out and get it from me.
The irony of this feud, however, is that the two were actually good friends at one point. Drake has openly admitted that Kanye was a big influence on him in his early career, and they've made music together in collaborations and other venues.
First name greatest, like a sprained ankle, boy, ain't nothing to play with.
But then it all blew up when Kanye openly admitted, without Drake's consent or knowledge, that Drake had a son that he doesn't want to talk about. This started a long feud, one that escalated with a Twitter rant by Kanye over Drake trying to get clearance from him for a song they did back in 2009. Not only did he deny the claim, he also went on a rant about how he doesn't like Drake, that Drake hurt sales of one of his shoe lines because of the diss tracks against Kanye, and much more. Then he even went and did a tweet saying that Drake threatened him, which Drake sent a laughing emoji as a response upon hearing this. But then Kanye walked it back not long after. And a little funny thing that came out of this, Drake Bell, remember from Drake and Josh, tweeted at Kanye saying, "I'm sorry." So, some good laughs out of that. But besides all that, back to the aftermath of all this. All of this got many people weighing in on Kanye, and it wasn't positive at all. Even Ariana Grande got involved and told people to ignore what was going on with Kanye and Drake, and instead set the focus on her and Miley dropping new songs soon. Kanye's gotta be tired by now by all of this rap beef crap. It's obviously affecting him and his family, and by extension, his mental health, which, speaking of, number 4, mental health.
There's some cases of bipolar where people go low. I'm one that goes high.
To be in any industry where the spotlight is constantly on you, you have to have a strong mind and personality. Not saying aggressiveness or biting per se, but one that can take scrutiny of being critiqued by reviewers and fans, as well as having to deal with the stress of the work that you have to do, whether it be making songs, filming on sets, or something else. While Kanye West has always projected himself as being one of the strongest guys around, he recently opened up and admitted that he suffers from mental health disorders, and he's just trying to get it all figured out. He proved this in part of his Twitter rant recently, where he said, "No one would ever choose to end up in a mental hospital and diagnosed with a mental disorder, but God chose me to publicly go through this journey, and it's beautiful." West continued, adding that he stopped taking his medication 6 months ago. "I cannot be on meds. I make the Watch Throne level or Dark Fantasy level music. You don't make Runaway on medication. Even alcohol is an addictive substance called spirits that actually block our earthly connection to our spirits when we drown ourselves in it." While it's absolutely fine to be sympathetic over Kanye's situation, you also have to question how far is he apparently not going in order to make himself better. The Twitter rant with Drake was apparently done when he was off his medication, as the quote above basically proves, and so it maybe just be the best for everyone involved or Kanye to take a step back, or jump back honestly, and let him take care of himself. And to be completely frank, the best thing for Kanye to do is to get out entirely and focus on things that aren't as stressful, before his mental health causes irreparable damage, such as number 3, family and kids.
What size are those?
Having a family changes a person, whether they want to admit it or not, and for all of his faults, there is no doubt that Kanye West absolutely loves his family. He loves his wife Kim Kardashian, and they have been married for over 4.5 years, which is a lot longer than most marriages that happen in the rap industry, as well as the Kardashian family. Their marriage has produced 3 kids in the form of St. North and Chicago West. Kanye even went and got a $20 million home for him and his family to live in, not to mention a private island for his kids. I kid you not. He's willing to do anything for them, and that likely includes leaving the rap industry. During the recent Twitter rant, Kim came forward to defend her husband and even cleared up some of the things that he said about Drake, while also complimenting his brilliance. However, behind the scenes, many have noted that Kim is very much over Kanye on Twitter in every way. She wants him to stop because it's not doing anything good, it's just causing harm, both to him and her and the kids. Speaking of which, while their children are rather still young, Saint is the oldest at 5 years old, they're getting older every day, and Kanye is going to be wondering about the legacy that they're going to be leaving behind for them. It can't just be money, so he might leave the industry in order to ensure that he gets all the help that he needs to get stable, and so he can be the father that they need. After all, there's absolutely nothing wrong with leaving an industry that you've already made a name for yourself and to become a parent that is always there for their children. Now, sure, he'll have other business ventures, but I'm sure it won't be as stressful as the music industry, and he'll likely be able to be more around his kids, and if he does it right, he'll not only be a successful singer in terms of history, but a good parent that was there for his 3 kids. And don't forget Kim, she needs his support too. Kim Kardashian has her own ventures, and having Kanye leave the rap industry would be just as beneficial to her as it is to him. As told, if Kanye puts rap behind him, he'll put his family first. And that might be for the best. Number 2, his raps aren't what they used to be.
Find yourself up in the food court, you might have to enjoy your sample.
One of the biggest challenges of being a singer in any genre is keeping relevancy with the times. Not in regards to making music that is apt for the time, but rather proving that you still have something to offer in the wake of more and more music artists popping up and making music alongside you. Every year, more and more hit stars come to the light, and that puts a challenge on veterans to keep it up. Kanye is most definitely a veteran of the rap industry, but as good as he's done, he's not what he used to be. Take, for example, his most recent album, Ye. This album was controversial from start to finish, and yet it ended up in the Billboard Top 200 in terms of sales in its opening week. But then the next week it dropped in sales by 65%, and that's a big drop. Then in terms of the songs from the album, none hit number 1 on the Billboard Top 100, and in its second week, all 3 singles that were on the chart dropped several slots. That really only happens when people aren't feeling the songs, and one of the tracks went from 24 to 92. Then there's the track I Love That, where he teamed up with the young artist Lil Pump to make a song that, well, I honestly can't describe it, but it's one of the most filthy and explicit songs ever made, and while some people love that, a lot of people didn't.
Sparkling or still? Why you trying to act like you was drinking sparkling water before you came out here?
And it spoke to how Kanye is out of touch with the rap industry in some people's minds. And that's just the thing. Kanye doesn't need to keep pushing rap out. He's already done that a lot. He's had 8 number 1 albums consecutively. He's had numerous number 1 single tracks, tons of awards, many hit collaborations, and so on and so forth. He's already done everything that he could do, short of being called the greatest rapper ever. And it honestly won't happen. Too much competition for that title at the moment. So he can lead the industry right now and knows that he's accomplished everything that he could possibly do, and there's just nothing wrong with that. Number 1, he's already a successful businessman.
Got the answer. You ain't spent $13 million of your own money trying to empower yourself.
When you think about Kanye West, you likely think about his music first, then his family, and then his antics. But the truth of the matter is that Kanye West is actually a very successful businessman, with many business ventures that he runs, and almost all of them have been very successful. For example, after getting his first Grammy Award, did I mention he's got 21 of those? He opened up a clothing line. While that was eventually shelved, his next fashion venture led him to making Air Yeezy shoes with Nike and later Adidas. He's even done internships with fashion designers so that he can learn more about the industry and get more ideas on how to create even better clothing, which he then made. He's also the head of a music label that has done very well called Good Music, and they've released many albums from various artists, but that still wasn't enough. Kanye West made his own business called Donda, named after his late mother, and then under the umbrella of Donda, West has branched out in even more ways. He's opened up restaurants, he's helped usher in new music and streaming services, he's done a lot of philanthropy, and much more. He's very successful, and he's still got a lot more time to do even more. So why stick with rap music that's clearly causing him stress and pain, when he can instead focus on fashion and his other pursuits, which clearly make him happy? The choice seems pretty obvious, huh? And there you have it. Multiple reasons why Kanye West is going to leave the rap industry. Do you find any of these compelling? Do you personally believe that he'll leave the industry behind? Or do you think he'll just keep on making music until nobody buys it anymore? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.